Hi, this is Tandy again. I wanted to share some aha moments with this cancer journey. And, it starts with trying to get this positioned right here. When it starts with the diagnosis. So when I was diagnosed again for a fourth time, oh, look at my shirt. Thankful, grateful, blessed. Woo! That's truly how I do feel. Thankful, grateful, and blessed. Anyway, I mentioned in my first video that, I don't have a history of drinking or smoking or chewing tobacco, and yet this body's been diagnosed with head and neck cancer. So the reason you might notice that my wording is, instead of saying I have cancer, I say this body has cancer. And the reason I say that way is because I'm acknowledging that I am not my body, and that my body is just a physical form. It's the physical shell, and I am not it, and it is not me. I am a spirit. I am love, and I am one with the divine. So when I say this body has, that is my way of acknowledging that my body is not me and I am not my body. So wanted to explain that. And, in looking at this cancer diagnosis at a closer level, I have recognized a couple of things, or believe a couple of things that I wanted to share with you. From a spiritual perspective, the throat, the head and neck area has everything to do with our voice and communication. And so I've had to really ask myself, where have I not used my voice? Where have I not exercised my voice? Where have I felt stifled or unable to communicate that? Or where have I, or how have I not stood up and stood out into the world with the gifts that I'm here to share? So I made the decision. I started the process before the diagnosis, but I continued with it. And I just ended a 14-day amazing virtual event called Your Vibrant Life Summit, Healthy, Wealthy, and Wise. And I had 43 amazing speakers from around the world. And I just have felt so blessed to have these amazing speakers in my life, and to have attracted these speakers to help transform lives around the world and bring this community of vibrant lifers together. So I moved forward with that, and the timing actually ended up being perfect. So, it was good. I just ended that yesterday, and I'm already looking ahead to my second one. It was a lot of work to put on a virtual event like that, yet it was very rewarding. I got a lot of energy from it, and I just feel called to do these types of things on a more regular basis. So I'm already planning my next one. That is one way that I have stepped up, stood out, stepped up, and stood out into the world, because putting on an event like that is huge, and it requires a lot of things. And I've just been really blessed to have been supported through this. Another thing I'm doing is I'm joining a church that it's a religious science church called Creative Living Fellowship in Phoenix, and I've attended there off and on for several years. One of my best friends attends there, and that's his home, and I fully resonate with everything there, and very much an Ernest Holmes fan, science of mind, all of that. So I attended a member orientation a couple weeks ago, and I'm becoming a member, and I want to be an active member. One of the other things that I'm doing, so that's really all about connection for me, connection to source, me feeling, and I'm not suggesting you have to go to church in order to be connected to source, because you don't. Let me just be clear, you do not. We are always connected to the divine, and we can always, always, always communicate and feel that presence within on our own. For me, I feel like I need that spiritual family, and for me, it feels like the right thing to do at this point in my life. To be surrounded by like-minded people, to have that extra dose of spiritual support and messages is very inspiring, and anything that I can do to help lift my energy, raise my vibration to one of healing and love is what I'm after. And my 2015 focus word of the year is connection. So I'm doing it's all about connection. So that's the second thing. The third thing is I am joining the choir at the church, and when I was a little girl, I sang a lot, and I always wanted to be a famous singer. Fast forward, when I was at my absolute worst health-wise, I was on extremely high doses of steroids and IV antibiotics, and my voice, my throat really changed, and singing was a lot more difficult. And I attended a choir practice about a month ago, and just showed up and was very welcomed in with open arms. And that evening, even though it was only like an hour, I felt so rejuvenated and so filled up by singing, and my voice didn't crack, and it actually felt more open. So I knew and felt like that was the right thing to do. So I'm going to be doing that, and I'm hoping that through treatments, when I'm exhausted or things like that, that that I'll still be able to go, and what have you. So there's that. And then just from a spiritual perspective, there's because it's the throat and everything to do with the voice and having a voice, using my voice, it also has to do with nutrition. Here's the bottom line, okay? Getting over any illness or disease is about three things. It's what you think, what you drink, and what you eat. That's it. Three things: what you eat, what you drink, and what you think. So I am, now that my summit's over, directing a lot more time of my day, each day, to my healing, to my power of the mind, and I start radiation in about 2 weeks, and I'm still on the fence with chemo. I'm open and willing to hear the doctor out, yet I'm extremely hesitant about that. After all, most people that die after chemo don't die from the cancer. They die from the effects of the chemo. And because this body already has a compromised immune system, I'm extremely hesitant. I'm setting the intention that radiation and the alternative healing methods that I'll talk about in another video are all that this body needs to be completely healed. And as long as I don't put sugar in the body, as long as I restrict that, and as long as I am nurturing my body through what I eat, through what I drink, and through what I think, I know that I'll be okay. And in part, I'm doing these videos because maybe there's somebody out there. Maybe, you're watching this and you're going through cancer for, a first, a second, a third, a fourth, a fifth, whatever time. Know that you too will get through this, that this too shall pass. It's only temporary. And whatever you're feeling is temporary. And wherever you're at is exactly where you need to be, and it's okay. And when you have feelings of fear or doubt or worry, there's two things I want you to remember. First is allow those feelings to come up and out, because the only way through them is through them, okay? Do not stuff them down. Do not bury them. Bring them up and out. Welcome them with open arms. Give it a hug. And then you can release and let go of those fears and worries and doubts. And the second thing is this. One of my speakers, Sharon Wilson, mentioned this in the summit, and I just love it, is when you're filled with worry or fear or doubt or anger or anything like that, you can say, I am partnering with my inner self, my divine self. Or you can say, I am partnering with God, universe, spirit, source, whatever works for you, to release my fear and worry and turn it over to spirit. So one thing that I've been saying recently, you know, as I have my ups and downs just like anybody else, is saying, I am partnering with God, with source, spirit, and declaring that I am free from worry and doubt, and declaring my freedom from cancer. I don't know how, I don't know when, you don't have to know how something's going to happen. Once you put it out there and the intention, and you state that you are partnering with source, you're partnering with spirit, you're partnering with your higher self, you know, you're partnering with God to and then declare your intention, you know, to declare your freedom from, or declare that you are turning over your worries and fears to spirit. It activates this energy that you resonate with, because one of the problems with affirmations is it has to be true for you. And by stating it in this way, or having these declarations, and including, you know, starting with, I am partnering with spirit, source, God, and declaring that, that I can begin to feel at peace, that I can begin to feel less fear and doubt, and whatever it is. Because at the end of the day, recognize that we are never alone anyway, and that Spirit, God's source, is always with us and is carrying us through the bad times. And any accomplishment, anything that we do or think or go through in life, we are always partnering with Spirit. We may not acknowledge it or recognize it, but that is the truth. It's what I believe, and it brings me a lot of comfort. So I hope that this has been helpful, and yeah. So there are some spiritual things going on there, and some spiritual practices. Remember, your overall wellness has to do with three things: what you think, what you eat, and what you drink. So choose well. All right, till next time.